Hey everyone, Cameron with CBM Reviews here, and I am about to give you my review of Black Lightning. Black Lightning premiered on last night on the CW, and I'm going to tell you the things that I liked about it, the things that I did not like about it, and maybe a few nods that are here and there. So let's get started. First off, I did enjoy the story. The story talks about Jefferson Pierce, who is in fact Black Lightning. He's played by Chris Williams, and he does a really good job of portraying this father figure who is just trying to do what's best for his family and his community and his school, because he's a principal of a school. And he does a good job. Everybody actually does a pretty good job. Every now and then you get little hints of stereotypic acting in there, but it doesn't overdo it, and so that's really good. The effects and the costumes in the show worked really well. I like how sometimes they flash back and they kind of tell how he would get really hurt while he was fighting crime, and he'd be in like the tub bleeding and things like that, and it would actually be black and white when they go and do those scenes. Except for the blood that actually have hinted red. The story revolves about, with him, and then there's this gang, the 100, that's in the neighborhood, and they're shooting up everybody, and they're ultra violent, and it starts to bleed into the school. Even though he kind of had things set up to where the violence would stay away from the school, now it's starting to trickle in. And so now he decides that it's time for Black Lightning to come back because it's affecting his family life. That's essentially the gist of it. It's hard to talk about Black Lightning without bringing up the latest black superhero that was on TV. Technically, this was a streaming service, and that would be Luke Cage. If I had to compare the two, because technically this is an apples to apples comparison, I would say that they're very similar because they talk about keeping the neighborhood safe. I think that Luke Cage, being that it was in the heart of Brooklyn, or was it the Bronx? It was in the heart of the black community. I'm not going to even look it up. I'm not going to even look it up. Seeing as that it was in the heart of the black community, you can't help but, talk about it. And this one was centered, Luke Cage was centered around kind of like a barbershop, where this one's centered around a majority black school. I think that they both handle it well, but just in slightly different ways. Whereas Luke Cage just out of prison, whereas Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, he is the principal of a school. So they tackle it from different angles, but they both tackle the same topic. So the action's good. There are some good action pieces where Black Lightning goes on the offensive and he tackles some gang members in a hotel. And, it's a little bit fast-paced, and they don't really give you a chance to really take in everything. But there's some violent parts, like some people get shot. You get to see the people get shot, and so that's good. And this guy, he gets super fried, and it's fun to watch. You've got a bad guy, Tobias. You don't really know anything about this cat, but you could tell he's not one to be messed with. And that is one of the draws that makes me kind of say, you know what? I want to see some more. I want to see how this goes, because he's an interesting dude. So now here comes the part where I'm not really that fond of, and there are three things. Number one, we have another bad guy who's Lala. He is your one-dimensional bad guy. There's not much to him. He used to be a student of Jefferson Pierce, and so it looks like there's history, but he just really looks like there's not much going on. And at first it looks like there may be actually something, but he actually answers to Tobias, and Tobias makes him his little plaything. Like Tobias is the guy who I'm actually interested in seeing more of. Lala, not so much. Another thing that I didn't really care about the show is the fact that it goes to the stereotypical roots. Like I said, I mentioned Luke Cage earlier because it talks about, the hood and protecting the people in the hood and this, that, and the other. And this goes the same way. This is back with a lot of things that we've seen with black superheroes. It's the stereotypical story that I'm a little bit tired of seeing. You saw it in Meteor Man. You saw it in Steel. And you see it in Luke Cage, and now you see it here, where there's violence going on in the hood, predominantly from a black gang, and now this black hero has to stop the black gang from terrorizing the black neighborhood. Black, 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 black. I want to see something different from a black superhero. It doesn't have to be about the hood. It doesn't have to be about predominantly black people. Have it be a black superhero that just saves people and it not have to be about race all the daggum time. So that stereotype kind of took me out of it a little bit. With this show, there's really not much diversity. It's like an all-black cast, and there's some white guys who happen to be the police. Not the police, the police. And that gets me to my biggest offense in the show, that the police are depicted as these really straight up racist guys. Like, the police are not good people at all in this show. Like, it starts off like Jefferson gets pulled over by the police and it's pouring rain, and they pull him out of his car and they put his arm behind his back, and then they take him to the car. They're like, is this the guy? Because a liquor store got robbed. And he's like, do I fit the description? Because I'm wearing a suit and tie in a four-door sedan? I mean, is that who robbed the place? Somebody who's dressed up to go to a nice function? Later on, there's an incident that goes on in a club, and the cops show up, and all these black cats are running away because there's this party, and Jefferson is there because he had to go save his daughter, and the cops are like, freeze! Freeze, put your black hands up. You know, they don't say hands, I'm keeping it clean. They say, put your black hands up. And they got the taser, and they shoot him with the taser, which, you know, you're going to shoot black lightning with a taser. What do you think is going to happen? And then instead of him, you know, just like playing along, he's like, I'm hurt. He grabs the barbs and electrocutes the cops and then blows up the cop car. It's a little bit much for a superhero. It turned from a CW show to an old school NWA record, you know? That was the biggest problem I had with it. A nice nod that I saw, they were watching the news in the show, and Roland Martin comes on. If there is anybody who is fit to talk about the black community, that's Roland Martin. Roland Martin, thank you for being on Black Lightning. You brought a sense of realism to the show that I think is necessary. I really hope you're in the show some more. I would love to see some more of what you have. Even make a cameo and not just be on the news would be fan-freaking-tastic. So those are the things that I thought about Black Lightning. Is it worth watching? It depends. This is very real. This show is not for everyone. If you're a comic book fan, you know, definitely watch the show. If you're a fan of the black arts, absolutely watch this show. But there are some people who are going to watch this and they're going to be like, I don't know about this. And this show may not be for you. Definitely give it a chance. If it's not for you, you're only one episode in. And it actually ties up pretty nicely, so you won't feel like you're left on a cliffhanger. But if you enjoy it, it gives you a little bit more to look forward to. So that's going to be my review for Black Lightning. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you going to check it out because of what I said? Let me know. Give this video a like. Also subscribe if you're new here, and give it a share if you enjoyed what I have to say about the show. Also check out some other episodes that I've got going on. We've got the Road to Infinity War, and check out what I had to say about Fox last week. As always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.